Are you ready?
Everybody, welcome me to Shyman. This is Andre Salazar. You are the true believers. You're the members of our elite secret society of comic book fans. And I'm giving you this is the first, maybe the second video, I don't know. We're giving you a members only video. I'm not going to give this to the public. Oh, no, 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 no. If they want to get this, they got to pony up like you dedicated people. So I had member who wanted me to share my old comic art or my old art like as a kid. Now I only have art from like the early 2000s. I don't have art from like the 80s and the 90s, which I really wish I did, but it's gone. It's gone, and it breaks my heart. If there's anything I could go back and save, it would be saving some of my old drawings, because I had some stuff that was actually still really good, but it's gone. So I'm going to turn the camera over. I'm going to show you what I have. We'll walk you through it, and there you go. Because you guys are members, and you're the best. Let's do this. Okay, guys, here is what we got. We have a comic book, maybe we'll do this at the end, called Nighttalker. This was a character that I had created. I made this, and I think it was around 2000. 98. So 98. So, but let's see what we got here. We've got, and this is just a stack. I have more stuff, but I don't want to make this too long. These are, do I have the originals? Okay, let's just go through some of this. Hopefully you can see this. This is an overlay inking. So I did pencils on a piece of paper. I then would use this like tracing paper, put it over the pencils, and ink on top of this. And that's the way some people used to ink back in the day. And then what happened is you learn that it's much easier to ink on paper than it is this stuff, because your lines get funky. So a real comic book inker would just ink right on the paper. Or nowadays, if they still do it analog, they would make a copy of it on blue line or something like that, and then ink that and keep the pencils. But back in the day, they just went right on the pencil. So this is page 1 of a little 6-page story called Ambush that I created in college. So this was like 99, 2000. And this is the character he's on the sewing machine, and he's walking out, supposed to be quietly. Notice the funky leg here, the funky legs. And I do like that hand. He's dressed up in his little costume, and his mom is sleeping on the couch, and he's putting on the mask, right? Which actually doesn't kind of make sense because he already has the mask here, but oh well. And that's page 1, and then this is the last page, a little splash page, page 6. You can see some white out. And this was our car. This is actually the car we had. Me and my ex-wife, that was our car, a Cutlass Supreme. And so I just drew it from that. And then here is Ambush, kind of, he's got his fencing foil wrapped around his neck. He's got his Speedo hat. This is his costume. He got beat up. That was his adventure. So I actually think it's kind of a fun page. This is another page. Sorry, they're kind of random. This is another inked page of Ambush on the top of a building. He's looking over his town, pontificating about he's going to be the protector of the town. I kind of like this face. And then this girl comes out of a bar. This dude's there, and they're kissing, but he thinks it's going to be more than that, and so there's going to be some issues. That hand, this is all kind of weird positioning, but it's not horrible, actually. It's not horrible. Not horrible. This here is a page. This is in my like David Mack phase, where David Mack was doing this book called Kabuki, and one of the things I really liked about him was, one, he used photo reference for all the models. That was clear, and I liked the realism of what that brought. And two, he really, for me, was one of the first to incorporate this type of, stream of conscious dialogue and words into the art, in the art. And so this was a story, again, Nighttalker story, and this like techno-organic big throne in the spaceship. This is the spaceship, you can see from, and then he controls, and then he's here. And then I'm incorporating the ship. It only broke down once was enough. It took years to repair. There are no Novatorian engineers. I could blame Earth, and I'm gonna go back home. I should have stayed there. So, and I'm incorporating the ideas, incorporating these thoughts into the art so I thought that was kind of fun. Never really finished it. It still needs to be finished, but I was playing around with that. Here's a little like battle scene that I did. These two characters, again, a lot of dialogue, and I'm just kind of like putting it in where I can. I actually like this. This is where I started playing with using brushes with different various line weights. But there's also a lot of issues with it, but this is kind of like, and I'm using very organic kind of like borders here. I'm not really using rulers. The lettering is horrible, but you wind up, that's always the case. And I do kind of like this like weird karate thing they're doing together. It's kind of fun. I like the foot there. It's kind of cool. So that's that. This is a little piece I did. This is an Ambush Bug story. I love Ambush Bug by Keith Giffen, and I really like Keith Giffen, so this was a piece. Maybe I should. Yeah, that's fine. And so this is like kind of like talking about Ambush Bug in the 90s, right? Where the 90s were all about, Sin City and gritty and darkness, and so this is an Ambush Bug story, being grim and everything and destroying. My comic book store sold more Beanie Babies than comics. That was the last straw. And so he I actually like this a lot. This is kind of fun. What can I say? I'm adapting to the 90s. This is kind of a fun little thing I did there. And okay, there's another page where I'm just trying different techniques, trying to figure out action lines and sound effects, and this guy kind of looks like Lobo, and my anatomy's crazy, but you're doing little action-y stories. These are two characters, Nighttalker and Doppelganger, and they were like little buddies that would work together. So yeah, I got this little hatching, just kind of trying to figure out just how to draw, really. Let's see here. I don't even know what this is. This is another part of this is when I was doing strips. I thought what if I did my comic in strips? So this would be day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And these are different kind of action battles and different things. Yeah. And this is a Far Side. This is kind of a Far Side type of daily strip too, where this guy, I actually like these. What are you doing, Doug, with all this mess? Putting on the whole iron of God, word of God. He's different little kind of religious type of ideas. These are kind of fun. I actually like the production of these. I think I did a nice job of. I like the ink work here on these. But And then these are some more daily, like Far Side daily strips. There's one of a surfer stuck in the water and he's like getting spun around. Here's one where the truck goes by and he's trying to change into his wetsuit. I did a bunch of these trying to like, I was wanting to like put it in the newspaper. We never got to do that though. It didn't work. My stuff wasn't good enough for the newspaper, for the school newspaper, but it's okay. And then some of these, see, they're not even finished, right? I just like halfway do them. And you could tell I'm playing with different tools, right? Here it's all, this is all brushwork. I actually like that a lot. That turned out nice. And then here I'm using like a pen. So I'm just playing with my tools. Okay, here's a piece. These are older. This is even older. This is like 93. So this is pretty old. 92, 93. This is a comic book idea I had of, it's a fantasy, kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons type of a thing. And if I color this, you could read it a lot better, but it's not colored. And so it's kind of hard to see what's going on, but they're camping. And I did like some of the kind of, I had some ideas for style, but it wasn't quite there yet. But I do like some of these things here. I do like some of the stuff going on. I would like to go back to something like this. It'd be fun to do, but here's the problem, you guys. Comics are just so time consuming. Oh yeah, here's that ambush bug page. This is the ambush bug and this is the pencils. The original pencils. Actually, it's kind of cool. It's actually kind of fun. I actually like this. This would be fun to like keep or hang up somewhere like that. Little pin up. Okay, here's 92. So this is a while back. Here's Cable. I don't know if you know Cable from X-Men. Big fan back in the day. Kind of crazy costuming. Thought it'd be fun to do this. So that's kind of nice. Dr. Doom. Love Dr. Doom. Huge fan of his stuff. This is me playing with toothbrush. Here's another Cable. Dead bodies everywhere. Here's a character. This one, this was actually kind of fun. This is a nice little watercolor, opaque watercolor I did. This is the kind of stuff I really started getting into, is like doing these kind of watercolor pieces. And I think this was kind of fun for back then. I liked it. Here's that Nighttalker thing I was telling you about. Here's that page 1 of it. Notice I'm using, I'm incorporating the dialogue into the art. And this isn't horrible, but I would do it differently now. But yeah. There's the ambush. That's that pencils I did. Here's another comic I did. This was another like 6-page that I was trying to figure out how to do, and you'll see that I typed this out, cut them out, and glued them on here. I actually do like some of these little drawings. I put a lot of time on these guys. This was called, it wasn't Mundanes. I forgot what we called it. I had a name for it. I have a lot of these little like short little comic stories that I made attempts to make. And there's some fun drawings. I actually kind of like some of these things. This is another kind of fun one. Okay, here's, this here is, I really wish I would have finished this, because this is really my David Mack thing where I took some photography of some girls I knew in college and kind of creating a story. And there's actually some really nice line work here. These cute girls that I got to draw, and it would be fun if I had the photography to finish them, because I think they're actually kind of cool. And this would have been a fun comic. Here's another. You can't really tell it, but these cool pictures. These would have been fun. Here's, yeah, this is more of the ambush story that I shared with you before. I think that's, we got a couple more things here. This is those girls before. Some just watercolor, playing around with that. Here's Daredevil and Green Lantern. Here's a character I created called Onyx. I used to play a role-playing game, a superhero role-playing game. And in the role-playing game, you make up characters and stuff. And so here's like a bunch of my characters I made up. And yeah, I think that's, let me see here, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I'll show you, I'll end with this. That looks kind of cool, this little thing here. Nighttalker, totally my character from back in the day. This is 99, but done with a Frank Miller Sin City style. So I made this little comic, totally that style. Went out, got them printed. And there's a couple fun pages in here. But yeah, I wanted to make comics, dude. And then I had this little like short story of Ambush Bug. Again, you could tell I'm just crazy about him. And Dr. Doom. There you go. So I even made a little letters page and stuff. So there you go, guys. Thank you again for being a member. We will do more of these in the near future. Bye.